Okay, the next book that we're going to be reading is Yellowstone, A Place of Wild Wonders. Our focus question for this book is, what is Yellowstone and why do people visit there? Our words to know: explorers, national park, haven, protected, hotspot, and seeps. Our table of contents is our introduction, a hotspot, wildlife, history, and our conclusion. Our introduction. Imagine a place where steams of hot water shoot out of the ground and into the air. Imagine a place with strange green pools and gurgling pots of mud that smell like rotten eggs. Imagine a place where you can see grizzly bears, bison, and wolves in a single day. Such a place is real, and it's called Yellowstone National Park. National parks are areas of special protected land. Yellowstone is located where Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho meet. It becomes the world's first national park in 1872. Every year, millions of people visit to see its wild wonders. A hotspot. Most everyone who goes to Yellowstone wants to see Old Faithful Geyser. A geyser is a hole in the ground that shoots steam and hot water into the air. Old Faithful was given its name because visitors can depend on it to spray every 90 minutes. It shoots water 100 feet high. Yellowstone supervolcano. Yellowstone is home to an old collapsed volcano called a caldera. Over the past 2 million years, the volcano has had 3 big eruptions. The rim of the collapsed volcano is huge, stretching more than 45 miles across in some places. Scientists still watch Yellowstone closely. It doesn't look as if it's going to erupt again soon. Yellowstone is on top of something rare called a hotspot. Heat from Earth's core makes rock under the ground super hot. Rain seeps into the ground with the rocks and heats up. The hot water and steam travel up through cracks in the ground. Finally, water and steam erupt at the surface. Old Faithful is one of about 300 geysers in Yellowstone. The hot spot has also created hot pools of gurgling mud and thousands of colorful hot springs. Wildlife. When people go to Yellowstone, they also see animals of all shapes and sizes. The biggest animal in Yellowstone are bison, which can weigh up to 2,000 pounds. Bison are giant animals with shaggy brown fur, a big head, and a hump on their back. In the summer, you might see them rolling in the dust to fight off flies and shed their old fur. The next biggest animal are grizzly bears. They can weigh up to 800 pounds and are fast for their size. Grizzly bears sleep in dens underground for many months during the winter. They wake up in the spring hungry for food. Visitors to Yellowstone used to feed the grizzly bears. Today, this is against the rules because it is dangerous for both people and the bears. Yellowstone is also home to wolves. People drove wolves out of Yellowstone more than 100 years ago. Later, workers for national parks brought them back. Today, about 100 wolves live in Yellowstone. From 1995 to 1997, 41 wild wolves were brought to Yellowstone from Canada and Montana. The park is also home to more than 350 other kinds of animals. Elk, deer, golden eagles, beavers, and foxes roam freely in the park. Yellowstone is a safe haven for these wild animals. Visitors can enjoy watching them, but should never get too close. History. Yellowstone is one of the most popular national parks in the United States. Before it became a national park, Native Americans had been visiting the area for thousands of years. Many of them built shelters for a time, hunted for food, and made tools. Old Native American shelters still stand in the park today. Explorers also traveled through Yellowstone. They took note of its wonders through reports, photographs, and paintings. The United States decided that the land, water, and wildfire of Yellowstone were special. New laws were made to protect Yellowstone so people could not own or sell the land. Instead, Yellowstone was set aside for the enjoyment of all people and to take care of its animals. The idea of the national park was born. Paintings of Yellowstone helped people see why the land should be protected. And exploration convinced the United States to make Yellowstone the very first national park. Yellowstone paved the way for more national parks. There are now more than 50 national parks in the United States and many more around the world. Some, such as Grand Canyon National Park, protect natural wonders. Others, such as battlefields, protect places that are important to history. Gettysburg National Park helps people remember a battle that happened there. Grand Canyon National Park boasts one of the largest, most beautiful canyons in the world. Our conclusion. Today, about 3 million people from around the world travel through Yellowstone every year. They come to fish, hike, camp, watch wildlife, and visit the hot springs. In Yellowstone, people can see wonders rarely found anywhere else. The first explorers to set foot in Yellowstone knew they had found something special. Now that it is protected as a national park, Yellowstone will always be around. And this is our glossary.